Hey, man. Glad to see you guys. You guys are fucking patriots. Look at this guy. He's got respect for doing. There's 4 million people coming in. It's only a matter of time. Justice is coming.
What is the cost of lies? It's not that we'll mistake them for the truth. The real danger is that if we hear enough lies, then we no longer recognize the truth at all.
Why would I have anything to say to you? All you do is lie.
What else is left but to abandon even the hope of truth and content ourselves instead with stories?
It's the role of good journalism to take on powerful abuses. And when powerful abuses are taken on, there is always a back reaction.
Take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans, right. You're saying that's not gain of function?
That is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially.
When you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
About is the reality of goodness, not the perception of it. And what I see all over the place is people who care about looking good while doing evil. Fuck them. Okay?
Welcome back, Habbening Bros. It's Thursday night. You know what that means? It's time for another Habbening TV. I don't have a funny accent intro. I'm feeling a bit strange actually today. I got a bit of a headache. Feeling a bit floaty, but that's fine, right? You know, it's all good. It's Thursday, my dudes, and you're all here. Lovely to see you all. A little bit of housekeeping. I will not be doing, wait, I think I might be doing a show on Monday. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to the States for a while, so there will be a gap whilst I am traveling. I know you're gonna miss me. I'll miss all of you as well, to be perfectly honest, right? It won't be the same. But I have to go to America. I am drawn by the power of this strange word they keep using. Freedom. I don't know. I'm sure I'll pick it up, right? It's something about guns and being able to say whatever the fuck you want. Obviously, you know, right? The European mind cannot comprehend, such a concept. But I'm willing to learn. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go over there and immerse myself in the culture. You know what I mean, right? Like, you know, I'm gonna eat some ribs and shoot some guns and get mugged by a black person. Well, actually, I don't really have to go to America to do that, but I do hear that that's sort of what you do. It's the done thing, right? You know, play some country music, right? You know, get beaten up by Antifa. You know, all the American things that I've seen so much of, right? So yes, maybe Monday show, depending on how busy I am. Definitely not next Thursday show and the two after that. Don't worry, you can follow the Telegram channel. There will be updates. Sades, if you could be so good as to stick the Telegram channel in. Right, enough about that. Tonight, we have a bevy of stories for you. Firstly, new Pope. Better than the old Pope? I don't know. Anyway, white smoke has been seen above the Sistine Chapel in a bold display of white supremacy, signaling the next Pope. And he is indeed, he's South American. He's like Peruvian, I think. So he's sort of like white adjacent, right? Like, important thing, of course, is that the black smoke was not seen, right? Which did not herald the Black Pope, which is a bit of a shame, actually, because Robert Sarah, the sort of Black Pope on the list, was like incredibly based. So there are a lot of people who really wanted to see Robert Sarah. Racists, obviously, who want to see Robert Sarah as Pope. But no, it's this guy, Parolin. I should know this shit. Anyway, he's this guy. Apparently he's he's a bit of a softie on immigration and trans and all this kind of other stuff. I guess we'll see. You know what I mean, right? People change when you give them unaccountable power, right? Once he puts the fisherman's ring on his finger and the hat of Dagon, or whatever it is, right? Like suddenly he becomes infused with the power of the papacy. So, we will see. Of course, you can't go too crazy, otherwise the Rothschilds will call their loans back, and we don't want that. Oh, you're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to say that. Okay. But for our stories tonight, apart from that, because the breaking news, literally the Pope thing, so I didn't have time to prepare. World War Poo, bros, is breaking out. India v Pakistan. Fuck you, bloody bastard. Yes, the India v Pakistan thing is heating up. There have been a number of cross-border clashes. There have been like drone strikes, artillery. It's a bit confusing actually to know precisely what is happening. But one thing is for sure. The poo is in the loo, ladies and gentlemen. It's in the pipe 5x5, right? It is looking extremely messy, right? Reports are coming in of a great stench drifting across the Kashmiri border. How you can tell that from the genuine, the just normal stench, I don't know. But apparently there are, nasal specialists on the ground who have assured me that this is a particularly different and more fragrant scent. The scent of war. Yeah, it's sort of kicking off. We'll be going into that. Secondly, the US has signed a trade deal with the UK, and UK has also signed a trade deal with India, SAR, which will, result in a bunch more mass migration. Obviously, I mean, does it even matter at this point, right? I mean, just let everybody in, right? People are a bit annoyed because the Indians that get to come over don't have to pay national insurance, and their employers don't have to pay national insurance for 3 years, which means that they are significantly cheaper to hire. Starmer came out and said, no, you don't understand. This also applies to Brits that move to India. Everyone's like, no one's moving to India. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, yes. All of the Brits moving to India. Yes, the mass migration of the white British to India. Anyway, right? It doesn't matter, right? None of this matters, right? It's quite a boring story. I couldn't find anything else about it. I was like scouring. Apart from the Pope and India v Pakistan, it's been kind of quiet, bros. And our final story. A police report on the Southport riots has been released, bros. In another stunning victory for the government. It took them, a year and however much money to come out and say something that was instantly observable to anyone with more than 2 brain cells to rub together. It turns out that the Southport riots were not organized by organized right-wing groups who bust their way into Southport to create violence and mayhem. No, it was just a bunch of locals who got really, really pissed off. Amazing. I'm just right. I hope they paid a lot of money for that report. I hope they really got their fucking money's worth, right? So anyway, we'll be going over that, and then of course the usual, cringe videos and cute stuff for you all. Right, let's have a quick hello to everybody in the chat. On Rumble, Captain Crisps, Ardent Party, Full Short, good to see you, mate. Excuse me. Sede Sapiente, The Texas Man, great to see you, Texas. Livia Drusilla, great to see you too, Livia. J Chiva Loophole, Here's the Eunuch. I will be on Gulag Cafe tonight. The Woke Right, Part Deuce. Yes, James Lindsay is back again. He's back again, bros. The Woke Right. It's woke. Except this incarnation is even stupider than the last incarnation, as if that was actually possible. We'll be taking the piss out of all of that. I hope you can come along and join us for that. Did I get everyone in the Rumble chat? I think I did. I had a party in there as well, if I didn't mention. Again, my brain is a bit stupid tonight, so apologies if I'm more stupid than usual. On YouTube, we have Otto Stormhart, The Tree Godfather, Streaky Bacon, Total Blackout Painting, Robert Verlinden, Simon JJ. Good to see you, Simon. Who else we got? Cyber Chud Internal Affairs. Great to see you, Sir Chud. Who else? Arden is over there as well, double teaming. Right, that seems to be everyone. And on Odyssey, we have MK. Great to see you, MK. Hope you're well, mate. Right, so let's get on with the news, such that it is. It's not terribly exciting. I was really like, oh mate, is something gonna happen? Nothing ever happens, bros. Are absolutely killing it at the moment. Also, today's meme, British person. I think British government, we don't do that here. Yes, if you got a license, don't want you to go around thinking leads to speaking, and speaking leads to doing things, and we don't take kindly to doing of things over here. That is a crap British. I don't know what the fuck. Hey, crap accents is what you come here for. I know. I've seen the metrics. I've seen the intense polling we do. Right. That was sent to me by Texas Man. Thank you very, very much, Texas Man. I really, really appreciate that. Right. Okay, so let's get on with it. Okay, where's the right window? Oh my god, my brain. Yes. So to begin, Robert Prevost becomes the first American Pope. The poop. Shut up. And will be known as Pope Leo the XIVth, the 14th. Leo the 14th. I'm not sure what any of this means. Maybe I'll cover it on the next show when, there's been a bit more research done. I've had a chance to sort of have a look at it. I did have a bit of a look on Telegram, and as I was saying, apparently he's not in favor of women priests, but he is in favor of mass migration. There is talk that he's a Jesuit, which would make him the second Jesuit pope in a row. Wow. What a coincidence. And apparently, of course, he loves the nation of Israel, which, of course, is the most important thing for any pope. But he's, I don't know. We're gonna see. He's seen as a reformer and worked for many years as a missionary in Peru. Apparently, he had a stunning rise to the papacy, which was absolutely not assisted by anyone in any way, shape, or form. So, I don't know. It could be sussy. He was greeted with huge cheers from thousands gathered in St. Peter's Square. Here he is. Watch the moment he steps out on the balcony, bros. I wonder if they give him if the grey men, right, with the briefcases, give him the speech before or after he becomes pope. Right? He was like, yeah, Cardinal, it's very, very important that once you become the pope, you don't do anything to upset the financial interests of the Vatican Bank. Very, very important, very important. We got a project here. You don't want you standing in the way of it. Things could go very bad for you. Don't want to wind up assassinated now, do ya? Or do they wait until he becomes pope and he's all bright-eyed and I am going to change the papacy. I'm going to bring back the traditional values, right? And, they walk up and be like, yeah, about that, about your wishes to, take the Catholic Church in a certain direction. Well, unfortunately, right, we've got some bad news for you, Popey boy, right? So he apparently is technically American. He is the first Burger Bro Pope. So, I don't know. We're going to see. He's no Robert Sarah. I'll tell you that much, right? Look, can the Catholic Church really say that it's progressive when they did not elect a black pope? You know, we would have been the first black pope, right? Because it's his skin color that matters, right? It doesn't matter that Robert Serrar is like an incredible traditionist, right? And does not like the gay or eating of the poo-poo, right? Like, no, we get a burger bro pope. He looks like Scorsese. What? Starmer? He doesn't look like Scorsese. Oh, you mean the pope? I'm gonna make you a heavenly offer you can't refuse. I wonder what his accent's like. Look, we'll have to see, right? You know, it's oh god, BBC. Anyway, right. Enough of that. Right, on to World War II. Yes, the Pakistanis versus the Indians, bro. Explosions have been reported in Jammu city in India-administered Kashmir. Live updates. Wait, where's Kashmir? Here we go. Jammu and Kashmir. So this is the disputed area. Jamming out in Jammu and Kashmir. Apparently, so I mean, like basically, this has been going on for a while, right? It's like, okay, like fuck you, bloody bastard, right? The Indians attacked. They hit apparently terrorist infrastructure, and I mean, then Pakistan closed its airspace, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!" Then there was like shelling, and now there are reports that there was like a huge dogfight above Kashmir, right? With both sort of sides actually keeping the planes within their borders, but firing long-range missiles. It is alleged that Pakistan lost 3 fighter jets, French-made Rafales, but everyone is disputing this. What doesn't seem to be disputed is that India struck a bunch of targets inside Kashmir, which were allegedly terrorist infrastructure, whatever the fuck that means, right? It could be, right? And apparently they also killed a jihadi, the guy that murdered that American Jewish journalist, Richard David Pearl. So they're very, very happy about that. Pakistan retaliated with heavy shelling across the line of control. The Islamist group Jaish-e-Mohammed was one of the groups targeted, and its leader, Masood Azhar, said his older sister, brother-in-law, and his nephew and niece are among the dead. Pakistan says that civilians were harmed and targeted, and that mosques were hit across 6 locations in its territory. Don't worry, I'm sure Pakistan has more than enough mosques to replace them. Pakistan believes it now has the right to respond to aggression. India said it attacked 9 terror sites, but has been careful to stipulate these were non-military locations and is now seeking de-escalation. I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to de-escalate, bros, right? India dubbed this Operation Sindoor, Sar. It was intended to be limited, but it is highly questionable whether it was a success, given that India lost 1 or possibly up to 5 fighter jets. So, you know, it looks like there's been like an aerial engagement. Both sides have lost like a number of fighter jets. People are saying this was like actually the largest air battle for like a few decades. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting, right? So Pakistanis are saying that they shot down jets and drones. No, wait. I thought the Rafales were Pakistani. Oh, okay. Apparently the Rafale jets were Indian. I don't know, right? Like, okay, this is very, very confusing. There's like a bunch of debris in both India and Pakistani-controlled Kashmir. Various drone parts. Everyone's going around basically saying all flights around Pakistan and around Kashmir have been diverted, as you can see here. Now, yep, here we go. Here's the... So, yeah, I mean, it's looking, that was the original strike on the terror infrastructure in Kashmir by the Indians. Here's some of the aftermath. Tsar, redeem the nukes now, Tsar. Yes, so India is basically claiming that they killed 90 militants in Operation Sindoor, but people really don't know. As you can see, it was a raging success. Apparently, the Pakistanis were quite upset. I can't understand this.
आपके मासूम जो शहीद हो रहे हैं उनसे अल्लाह की मुलाकात होगी, दुनिया में उन पर क्या बीती इस पर भी बात होगी। खुदारा अपने मासूमों को तलकीन कीजिएगा कि वो अल्लाह से हमारी शिकायत ना करे, बल्कि अल्लाह से ये दरख्वास्त करे कि वो हमारे जैसे कमजोर ईमान वालों को ताकत अता करे, क्योंकि हम भूले हुए हैं कि मनफत एक है।
Cool story, bro. Robert Verlinden is saying that the Indians used at least one BrahMos cruise missile and the Pakistanis used a PL-15 long-range AAM. Thanks very much for that, Robert Verlinden. I do not have enough information on that. 3 fighter jets crashed in India's Jammu and Kashmir. Again, this is the wreckage that is being seen. I don't know. I can't really say. I've seen like various pictures around claiming that India is using Israeli drones. I mean, this wouldn't be surprising. India and Israel are very, very tight at the moment, with India supporting Israel's side of the Palestinian conflict and the Pakistanis supporting the Palestinians. Obviously. Oh, we have an entropy bleep from MK. $10 US. Oh, thank you so much, MK. I really appreciate that. You get the big dancing dollar sign, mate. Thanks for the show. Cheers. Thank you very much, MK. I hope your job's going well, mate. Oh, and also from Stumbling, $3. No more Jeet wars. Hashtag. Oh yes, I agree. Stumbling, right? We must save the Jeets from themselves. Really, if you think about it. Now, we also have some stuff on the ground. Sorry, I'm a bit dazed today, bros. On the ground in Kashmir after Pakistan shells the Indian side. This is basically breaking. This is from today. The other stuff was sort of over the last couple of days. Despite international calls for an end to the violence. I'm not calling for an end to the violence. I guess I'm not an international. Civilians on both sides fear the worst as war returns to the region. Mushtaq Salim, a shopkeeper and father of 3, had to shout to make himself heard above the explosions. We're pleading with both governments to end this insanity, he said, as Pakistani artillery fire rained down on Indian-controlled Kashmir. How many more civilians must die before peace prevails? I don't know, mate. Why don't you ask the arms company or the people who actually start the wars, right? I mean, I'm just saying, right? One of more than 1 million Kashmiris caught in the crossfire as the old enmity between the two neighbors explodes into a new cycle of violence. So here are the Pakistanis. War in Kashmir will be India's last folly. Little is certain when India and Pakistan go to war. The two powers, which have already fought for at least 2 conflicts over Kashmir, seem set on each other, causing consternation around the world, Sir. Leaders such as Sir Keir Starmer... Oh, Starmer again, right? He's not really running the UK. He's just running around as globo homo diplomat at large, right? Just being like, sir, please to stop. Fucking. I love it when your prime minister is basically like, I am going to be on the world stage, right? When I retire, I will be remembered for my work in Ukraine and my work in Kashmir. What about your work in the UK? Oh yeah, fuck those guys, right? Who likes the fucking English? Starmer has called for dialogue, de-escalation, and the protection of civilians. Trump said he hoped to see the two sides stop now, adding, I know both very well, and I want to see them work it out. They've gone tit for tat, so hopefully they can stop now. Asked if he was ready to intervene, he said that he had good relationships with both governments, and if I can do anything to help, I'll be there. Okay. So, yeah, you can see some missile strikes here. We do actually have exclusive footage of the Pakistani missile launches.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Plus 5 seconds.
Here we have it exclusively top of TVB1.
It's the new hypersonic missile design, bros. It's very environmentally friendly, though, right? Very, very sustainable. Now, the US has basically said that everyone in Lahore, Pakistan, all their embassy staff should basically lay low, stay inside the embassy. Stuff might get hairy. Evacuate any areas adjacent to Lahore's main airport. Lahore, of course, is the capital city of Pakistan. So the US clearly sees that thinks it's about to kick off. Maybe it'll be a bit more keno than this. This is what usually happens on the Kashmiri border, by the way. I mean, that's pretty weird, right? So, apart from the silliness, I just want to point something out here, bros. Okay, now, as you can see, this is India down the bottom here, Pakistan, and what is it that borders Pakistan? Iran. Ooh, gee, what's happening with Iran? Oh, well, the Israelis are trying to start a war with Iran, not one that they will fight, obviously, one that the Americans are going to fight. Although, to be perfectly fair to the Israelis, they'll probably get anyone to fight Iran, right? Like, if they can rope the Indians into doing it, or the Afghanis, or the Turkmenistanis, or anyone, right? As long as they will fight Iran. It is a sort of long tactic in warfare to destabilize the general region in which you are trying to start a war, right? Destabilization and military buildup enables all kinds of shenanigans. It forces governments to increase military spending, which increases arms shipments. It often causes governments under pressure to take out large loans. There's all kinds of benefits to destabilizing the region. In the modern sort of world as well, there's the possibility of refugee flows, all kinds of stuff. So, I took a look at this and I was like, it's funny how just when they are I'm up to go to war with Iran, this just happens to kick off, right? I'm not saying, but I'm kind of, the timing is a little suspicious. Oh, we got another entropy. Stumbling, $5. Show Bob, please. You'll have to ask the animated dancing girl if she will show you her bobs. Not the vagine, though, I'm afraid, right? Thank you very much, Stumbling. Please get your super chats in as well if you want to ask a question or have a stupid comment or any of that stuff. Just please help to keep me alive in the hellscape that is London. It is very, very much appreciated. Also, you can also donate Bitcoin and Monero if you want to support me with untraceable cryptocurrency. That's cool too. And if you're on Odyssey, please send me some Odyssey coins. Every show costs about a coin to make, so I sort of need them. So yeah, if you're on Odyssey, donate me some Odyssey coins, bros. That would be awesome. So I think that's basically it about the World War Poo. Let me see. Yes, it is. Right. So also, to do with India, or Bharat, as I believe it is called now, the UK is inking trade deals. It is the Brexit that we were promised, bros, except with tons more mass immigration, obviously, right? Because, the way the elites look at it is if we can't import people from the EU, well, we'll just have to import them from elsewhere, right? And, people are why do you need to import more people? We're already here, right? And the government's but we really don't like you, right? You're just so annoying, right? Like, instead of like voting out and replacing government, we thought we'd just replace the population instead. Easier, if you think about it, right? Like, just replace the people, right? And then maybe you won't be so uppity, right? With your requests and your demands and you're refusing to like, do what you're told, right? Bet you're gonna do what you're told now, aren't ya? Aren't ya? So, the UK-India trade deal was hailed by the Labour government as an incredible feat and achievement. Except it was being held up for about 10 years for some reason, right? The Conservatives didn't want to finalise it. And what was that thing that was holding it up? Well, of course, mass immigration. I don't know why the Conservatives gave a shit. Boris seemed to just like throw the doors open. But apparently it came down to this national insurance contribution thing that was a bit of a sticking point, because now when workers come over from India for 3 years, they will be basically 20% cheaper for the companies that hire them than people in the UK, because the companies won't have to pay national insurance. Don't worry though, the Indians will still be paying national insurance back to India. Yeah, sure, right. Yeah, I mean, if you fucking believe that, right? Because it's not fair to ask them to pay twice, right? Whatever. A multi-billion-pound free trade agreement with India has been touted as a big Brexit boon. Cheaper clothes and shoes for British shoppers. A huge market for Scotch whisky producers and luxury car makers. And billions of pounds worth of extra trade are among the benefits of the agreement, which was finalised this week. But all of these have been overshadowed by a row over national insurance contributions. The government gave in to a demand that when Indian workers are seconded to the UK on short-term visas, both they and their employers should be exempted for up to 3 years. They will make social security payments in India instead, and the reverse applies to British workers in India, all 500 of them. The concession has been seized upon by senior Tories, bad Tories, which can be bad not calling it two-tier taxes. Nigel Farage said that Keir Starmer had sold out British workers to the highest degree. Critics have also raised questions about the deal's implication for immigration and farming. So, it's going to cost the government about £100 million in lost revenue. I mean, from the national insurance. What it will actually cost in terms of these people basically having free access to the NHS while they are here, don't worry about it, right? Don't think about it. And it's supposed to bring in $1 billion of additional tax revenue, which is, of course, the only thing that matters now, really, right? Like economic growth doesn't matter. What matters is how much money the government gets so they can spend it re-engineering society. And I'm a fan. What I want is even more social engineering, right? When I go out and I see anything wrong with society, I'm like, you know what we need? We need more fucking government. So gay. So gay. However, the Guardian is fact-checking. I mean, it is the fucking Guardian, right? So, I mean, of course they would. They're saying it's misleading, bros. Fact-checked misleading. As most... Oh, that's a very precise number there. Most Indians applying for jobs based in the UK will not benefit at all. Most. That's a very, very specific number. My understanding is that this will basically allow sort of Indian companies in the UK to bring over a ton of Indian workers. So they're basically saying that, this is really important for companies like Jaguar Land Rover. But Jaguar Land Rover is an Indian company. It's owned by Tata Motors, which is Indian. So, what? None of this matters. It's fine. It's fine, bros. In the grand scheme of government spending, $100 million is small change. But ministers have so far refused to publish their assessment of the costs or impact that the concession could have on the number of Indians who come to the UK temporarily on company transfers. This has fueled speculation. Yeah, but you got to understand, $100 million is a small price to pay to fuck over the white population, right? And for that, they have literally infinite money, right? Like, it is the most important thing of all, right? If it will fuck over the white population, man, they've They got fat stacks, man. They'd be printing that money as fast as possible. And, you know, the UK, they're like, but the UK already has reciprocal agreements with, you know, more than 50 countries, like the US, Canada, Japan, Germany, France, and the Netherlands, which, of course, as we all know, are exactly like India, bro. Yep. Yep. I see no fault in that logic whatsoever. Oh, God. However, the Indians were very, very buoyant, calling the concession an unprecedented achievement that would make Indian service providers significantly more competitive, i.e. cheaper, in the UK. This has made the politics awkward for the government. Yes, well, you know, look, they want to fuck over the white population, but they don't want people to, like, actually point out that they're fucking over the white population, right? You know, it's a bit far right to talk about that, right? This is also on the back that the government has raised national insurance contributions for employers, something that was immediately noticeable all across London as prices for everything basically shot up by 15%, basically overnight. It's great. It's fine, right? You know, look, one of the great things about living in the UK is that everybody has infinite money, right? You know, it's just, you know, it's part of that white supremacy thing, right? You just have infinite money. Here's Starmer, the gauntlet fucktard, talking about how awesome it is. That is a terrible pause face. I'm about to announce something that I think is really awesome, but he's going to like fuck everybody over. Fuck me.
Well, this is a historic day for the United Kingdom and for India, because this is the biggest trade deal that we, the UK, have done since we left the EU, and it's the most ambitious trade deal that India has ever done. And this will be measured in billions of pounds into our economy and jobs across the whole of the United Kingdom. So it is a really important, significant day. And look, it's been promised many times over the last 8 years. Prime Minister Modi and I decided in Brazil last year that we would move at pace in relation to these negotiations. We've done that in a serious way, in a pragmatic way, and we're able to show that that's what delivers results. So I'm really pleased for working people across the country who will feel the benefits of this. Well, this is...
Yeah, I mean, I'm pressing X to doubt about that. I mean, look, he's basically saying it'll make a bunch of stuff cheaper. God, that guy's face. Dude. Yes. So yeah, look, that's basically it. Allegedly, this will boost sectors that have been hardest hit by Donald Trump's tariffs. I think that's basically it. Modi described it as a historic milestone and an ambitious and mutually beneficial trade agreement that will catalyze trade, investment, growth, job creation, and innovation in both of our economies. I look forward to welcoming PM Starmer to India soon with all of his Google gift cards. Fucking god damn it. But don't worry, bros. Don't worry. In case you were worried, just for a moment, that Starmer was in some way backsliding, fear not. Fear not. He's not only sucking up to the EU, he has recommitted to the European Convention on Human Rights and also recommitted himself to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. The UN Pact for the Future, the OCSE commitments, all of the good things in the UN, right? You know, which of course, because it's the UN has never done anything wrong, and so therefore it's going to be awesome, bros. On literally the same day, the UK also announced that they had inked a new trade deal with the US, which is not really a trade deal, it's a tariff deal, right? Now, this is kind of interesting. I've been talking for a while about how I really hoped that the US would really lean hard on the UK to stop with the social media arrests and the speech laws and all this kind of like stuff. and just be like, look, if you want to be a liberal democracy, you know, if you want the moral legitimacy that comes with saying you're a liberal democracy, why don't you fucking act like one? But of course, you know, the Europeans and increasingly the UK, because they identify as European, are like, well, you know, we don't have free speech in this country, right? Because, you know, we've got to stop people's fifis being hurt. Because we imported like a whole bunch of people from all around the world, and now the only way to like stop this entire powder keg from exploding is to institute a sort of soft totalitarianism, bros. Which is great. I'm just loving it. So we still have the 10% tariff on imports into the US. But the deal has reduced or removed tariffs on cars, steel, and aluminium. So I told you this is a fucking boring story, right? Like, I was really starved for like stories this way. Sorry, bros. Usually, right? Like, I find something a bit more exciting. So yeah, you know, it's a major trade deal. Cars cut to 10%. Who cares? Steel and aluminium. Who cares? Pharmaceuticals apparently. This will probably take some of the pressure off from like all the trade on China. And of course, there's the big thing about the digital services tax, which the Americans are very, very not happy about. But this is going to be interesting because now, essentially, right, the Americans are going to have leverage, more leverage over the UK. So the next time they come out and they say, oh, yeah, you know, according to the Online Safety Act, you know, Twitter has to pay us like $1 gajillion. Trump's going to be like, no, I don't think you're going to do that. I don't think you're going to do that at all unless you want to be paying like, you know, 160 garillion% on everything that you import from the United States. I don't think you're going to be doing that at all. So, you know, I mean, that's probably like a positive. It's not going to stop the cops like arresting people in the UK for speech stuff, but, you know. The big question, of course, is food standards. America has some quite weird laws when it comes to food, and it has long been a sort of staple of the Europause that they don't want American food, partially because of, you know, like artificial dyes, also stuff like growth hormones in beef, chlorinated chicken, and all this kind of like other stuff. But apparently now, high-quality US beef will be allowed to be imported into the UK, which will probably like fuck over the farmers. Because it'll be cheap. So you will now get growth hormone beef from the US in the UK, which is great. Tariffs on ethanol, which is used to produce beer. What the fuck? What, they just add extra ethanol to the beer? Okay, fine. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, see, this is the summary. Airline deal, Boeing planes, Rolls-Royce engines, 13,000 tons of high-quality US beef. But UK farmers also gain equal access to the US market. So, you know, that could be good, right? The UK food standards remain fully protected for all imports. Okay, I guess that's good. And the UK will be granted preferential treatments in future US tariffs under Section 232. Amazing, right? Oh, for God's sake, this is such a boring story. Fucking hell. Trump's like, yes, look at this, right? You know, we are winning, right? You know, our tariffs on them are now higher. Their tariffs on us are now lower. We now have unprecedented access to the UK market. Here's Trump basically telling you about how awesome it is.
This morning, I'm thrilled to announce that we have reached a breakthrough trade deal with the United Kingdom. Incredible country. Today is a victory day for World War II. We won the war together exactly 80 years ago, so there could be no more perfect morning to reach this historic agreement. And it's beautiful weather out, I will tell you that, Keir. Beautiful weather. It's so perfect outside. But it's really, in particular, the agreement with one of our closest and most cherished allies. And we're so happy that that's the way it worked out. I want to thank Prime Minister Starmer and his very talented team for their outstanding work and partnership. Today's agreement with the UK is the first in a series of agreements on trade that my administration has been negotiating over the past 4 weeks. With this deal, the UK joins the United States in affirming that reciprocity and fairness is an essential and vital principle of international trade.
So there you go. However, this might come back to haunt Starmer a little bit. This is what he was saying back in 2019 about a US trade deal.
Your leader is going to say later on today that there'll be rat hairs in the paprika and maggots in the orange juice if we do a trade deal with the US.
Maggots in the orange juice. Well, that maybe he's changed his mind on that, right? You know, they are trying to convince everyone to eat the bugs. So maybe maggoty orange juice wouldn't be such a turn off now. What really gets me about this whole kind of like thing, right, is that you can't like force people to buy these American goods, right? So if they're like crap, surely people will just avoid them and like not buy them, right? Like, but you know, whatever.
We leave.
I think
really,
if we move away from the standards we've enjoyed with the EU, we move to different standards, and I think the US standards are inferior to the standards we've got.
Rat hairs in the paprika, maggots in the orange juice.
It's about the standards that we operate. We operate very high standards at the moment, and I think there's a big concern that those standards go down. I think the biggest risk, if I may say so...
is that hyperbole?
Well, look, it's illustrating the point, but...
No, is that hyperbole from your leader?
It's
rat hairs in the paprika and maggots in the orange juice.
It's illustrating a point about standards
slowing. Have you ever been to the United States on holiday?
I've been to the United States
Have you ever had maggots in your orange juice?
I have been to the United States. I have holidayed there. I have worked there. I've travelled through there many, many times.
And have you been worried about rat hairs in your paprika?
There are real worries about food standards
and maggots
in America.
In your orange juice.
But let me just, I mean, since we come on to America and a trade deal with America, I think the bigger concern for many, many people is that if we go down the road of a trade deal with America, medicine prices are likely to go up, because most American firms think that the NHS is keeping prices of medicines too low by the way it purchases them, and they want that to change.
Yeah. Whatever, Summer. Maggots. Are there maggots in your orange juice? Find out tonight on Dateline. Fucking. Oh, God. Right, okay, let's see. What do we got here? Right, so a final story tonight. You guys all remember Southport. You know, that's, perfectly understandable thing that happens all the time. Where a Welsh choir boy, for no reason whatsoever, definitely nothing to do with Islam, went like, just a bit delulu, right? Like, could happen to anyone, right? Like, and stabbed like a whole bunch of like little girls at a Taylor Swift themed dance class, possibly the whitest activity on planet Earth, right? You know, he didn't go to a fucking, Cardi B themed dance class. Do they have those for kids? Oh, I made myself sad. I don't know. Is Taylor Swift much better? Oh, God. And then, a bunch of people got a bit annoyed about it for no reason whatsoever. Far-right racists, obviously, right, going around rioting, throwing stuff, trying to, very unsuccessfully set a migrant hotel on fire in a premeditated display of hate that has no place in this society, clearly organized by far-right networks, right, that were exploiting the situation. Oh, no, wait. Turns out it wasn't. Turns out there was no compelling or convincing evidence that the 2024 disorder was deliberately premeditated and coordinated by any specific group or network. Really? Wow. What a shock. You telling me like people just got like pissed off naturally? And basically most of the people there were locals. So there were no far-right groups bussing people in, right? Unlike Stand Up to Racism and all those other fucking glow organizations who clearly were bussing people in, bussing in their signs, having their big march against hate or all that kind of like stuff. So yes, this is the report that came out. An inspection of the police response to the public disorder in July and August 2024. Tranche 2. Wow, what a gripping title. So this is basically like a review that was commissioned. Basically, sort of to summarize, they're saying they need more intelligence people to deal with online content. Now, if you were, paying attention at the time, the main reason why sort of like online content went the way that it did was because the government left a massive vacuum and didn't say anything about what was really going on. Starmer, of course, being a massive lawyer, was basically saying, oh, look, we can't talk about it. Otherwise, it might prejudice the trial, right? So instead of prejudicing the trial, which is like bullshit, by the way, right? He just didn't want to fucking come out and, say what the fuck was really going on. And as a result, they say a bunch of misinformation was going around, but it still hasn't really been made clear whether it was or not, right? Rudy Cabana, of course, pleaded guilty at trial, so there wasn't actually a trial. So we never actually found out whether he had anything to do with radical Islam, right? We never found out whether he converted. We never found out his reason for why he did any of the things that he did, right? It was all just nicely swept under the rug, right? Don't worry, the cops held over 140 interviews with police officers, considered evidence from a wide range of sources, and they found that the police service didn't sufficiently prioritize intelligence on disorder. Basically, they were not watching social media enough, right? So presumably, right, they are going to be like, they are going to be watching social media very, very closely now. Most people who took part in the disorder lived locally. Before the disorder, many of them, so they didn't have any criminal record. They arrested 147 children. Okay. Some as young as 11 years old. Clearly a massive threat. The oldest person was a man aged 81. Let's not forget all of the people still in prison for social media posts around this event, including Peter Lynch, who died in prison as a result, taking his own life, right? It's fine, right? Just don't worry about it, right? The events that led to their arrests mainly involved public expressions of dissatisfaction online and on the streets of UK towns and cities. So how dare you express dissatisfaction with a bunch of young girls getting stabbed? Right? Like, what are you, right? A human with feelings? Oh my God, right? You gotta be a proper citizen. Take out your frontal lobes, right? But they turned into widespread and often serious disorder because of many other complex factors, bros. Very complex factor. Very complex factors. So yeah, they're gonna be doing like more intelligence, probably more arrests. Next time something really bad happens, they'll probably like go even worse and just start like arresting everyone immediately. The cops are basically saying that the police need powers to remove content off social media. Simon JJ, fact check Cardi B dance classes, none exist. Oh, well, it's not very progressive, is it, right? It sounds like a white supremacy to me. Why do they not have twerking classes for the 10 and 11-year-old girls, right? Like, what is this, right? It's 2025. We must be progressive. Thanks, Simon JJ. That actually made me feel a little bit better. So in accordance with their safety duties, online service providers must have systems in place to identify and remove illegal content. They must also swiftly remove any illegal content they are alerted to. So this is the Online Safety Act. How they are going to enforce this on American social media companies is, of course, the big question, right? Oh, we have entropies. $15 from Simon JJ coming in strong there. Wait, where's the tally $sign and have a Pepe heart as well. Thank you very, very much, Simon JJ. Still a great show, mate. I really appreciate that. I'm feeling a bit out of sorts, so I'm really, really glad. And $6 from Kermie with just a salute. Thank you very, very much, Kermie. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, bros. So the next time this happens, right? Next time, some doctor or engineer or astronaut coming back from, learning to be a neurosurgeon, right? He's just going to take like an hour's quick break before rushing off to astronaut school, right? Accidentally, for no reason whatsoever, stabs a whole bunch of like children to death, right? I mean, it could happen, right? Like, it happens to everyone, you're just walking down the street, accidentally trip over and stab a whole bunch of people to death. there's going to be a big sort of power struggle between UK law enforcement and the American social media companies, Twitter especially, right? And since they can't really influence Twitter, what they are probably going to do is just try like arresting everyone involved, which is going to be interesting because, you know, if you don't use your real name on Twitter, I don't know who the fuck would do that, right? You have to like be soft in the brain. If they do that, they're going to need Twitter to give them these people's like details. And if Twitter says like, no, we're not going to do that, then they're going to be up shit creek. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. They're still investigating crimes about this, by the way, right? Nearly a year later. So they're probably still, they've got like a bunch of them still combing through like videos, facially scanning people, being like, we haven't arrested everyone, right? They've made 1,800 arrests in total since then, right? It's only a starting point. Fucking, great. Bloody hell. Now, here's Starmer at the time basically saying it's all down to far-right thugs. Huh. I expect that now that he has been informed that he was mistaken on this, he will be apologizing any day now, bros. Right? Any day now? Just, you know, any day now, bros. I'm sure Starmer's gonna come out and say that he got it wrong. Nah.
This was a meeting to pull together our response, a response both to the immediate challenge, which is clearly driven by far-right hatred, but also all violent disorder that flares up, whatever the apparent cause or motivation. We make no distinction. Crime is crime, and so to that end, I can announce today that following this meeting, we will establish a national capability across police forces to tackle violent disorder. These thugs are mobile. They move from community to community.
No, they don't. They were all locals. You lying motherfucker. Who? This is what I want to know, right? Who told Starmer this shit? Or did he just like make it up off the top of his head, right? Did someone come to him and say, Mr. Starmer, Prime Minister Starmer, we have identified far-right networks on Telegram that are moving about the country, like stirring up trouble. Because that was the narrative that was being put about by Hope Not Hate and Stand Up to Racism and all those fucking like glow orgs, right? No, it was just like people.
And we must have a policing response that can do the same. This was a meeting.
Captain Crisp, Fist, when he does his Starmer, totally fails to capture that evil. Yeah, I know, Crisp. I don't have enough evil in me to like fully convey the evil. You know what I mean? There's just a limit to how much evil I can put across. I'm afraid, I'd need to go to university and do like a PhD in being an evil bastard, right? Like to really sort of get to it. Now, of course, this is nothing new, right? Like, even if you did not realize this at the time, 10th of December, fully fucking 6 months ago, 7 months ago, a while back, right? A policeman gave evidence basically saying this. By the way, this is from Jim Jarvis. Would highly recommend giving him a follow on Twitter. Terminally undersubscribed account. He does like these really, really good like mini videos and stuff. Highly recommended.
On the 10th of December 2024, MPs had a bit of an inquiry about whether there was two-tier policing.
Probably the one thing that I think does need a bit of reflection on is the narrative about what this was and what was going on. Because certainly in the early days, I attended one or two national meetings, and the conversation was about right-wing people maybe being whipped up, maybe a control in mind, and this was about people travelling on trains, restricting travel because they were coming into areas and fomenting violence. That was not what I saw. The vast majority, in fact almost universally, everybody arrested in 169 arrests. They're all Teessiders. You know, the furthest they hailed from was Darlington, which is probably 12 miles away, and they were people who lived in Teesside and who'd managed to kind of, you know, extend their horizons to Darlington. So this wasn't people coming in from outside. And I think maybe in the early days of this disorder, you know, there's a lot of coverage in the media about what this was, but I think the disorder in each and every area was different, and it certainly didn't fit that narrative where it was happening for me.
Oh, well, you know, what are you going to do? Whoopsie, right? You know, whoopsie. Anyway, that's the news for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Apologies for the very boring fucking trade deals story. I just should have cut it out. I don't know. I just, you know, once you start a show, once you've done like a couple 100 episodes, you just start getting on autopilot and so you're like, I gotta have 3 stories, right? You know, it's the format, right? Anyway, enough of that. You know what time it is, bros. It is time for some cringe. Parental advisory. Extreme cringe, bros. It's not too bad. Tonight, where's the window? Okay, right. So this is a real thing. I just don't white trans Muslims. What the fuck, dude?
Salam, everyone. I just gotta ask, who's cosplaying? See, cosplaying is when you dress up as something that you aren't or someone you aren't. I am a Muslim woman. I wear what a Muslim woman wears. I dress like that. So, who's cosplaying here? I think you need to learn the words that you're trying to use because they ain't working for you.
Something tells me he is not going to be accepted in the Ummah, right? Like, you know, I don't know, right? Like, you know, perhaps I'm mistaken, but something tells me, right? Oh my God, this is so... Oh, dude.
You know how frustrating it is when your wife does not understand sending money home.
First, it's his family. There's 8 of them. Then there's his friends, so what's that? Another 5 people. Then there's the extended family, so his cousins, and God knows how many he's got of those. And then he's got his village leader calling, so he's now building roads. The next thing you know, he'll be building houses for the homeless. He might as well set up a charity. It's ridiculous.
What she wants is for me to get permission from her, but I'm the head of this house. I do not need to get permission from Sarah to do anything I want with my money.
Head of the house? Seriously?
You know how
She doesn't know he's married back in Nigeria and he has a second family. That's clearly what's going on. He's got another family back in Nigeria he's sending money back to, right? Like, oh yes, I need to send money home, you know, for my friend and for the elders of my village. Very, very traditional. He's got another fucking family back in Nigeria. He's probably got a fucking 3 wives and 2 kids. Fucking mate. Seriously? This is Robert Jenrick. Oh, yeah, right. So there's a court case currently going through of a dude who got done for burning a Quran. And you might say, well, Chris, it's not illegal to burn a Quran in the UK, right? Well, you know, when is a law sort of not really a law? When you selectively enforce it, of course.
Earlier this year, I raised the case of a man who'd been arrested after a video emerged of him burning a Quran. Now here's an update. I've got hold of a copy of the legal proceedings against him, and he's just been charged with harassment, alarm, or distress against the religious institution of Islam.
Yes, alarm or distress against the religious institution of Islam. Well, that's certainly a law that sort of, you know, they're trying to make exist.
Now, his lawyer says that it's a defective charge. It doesn't reflect the law, and that it's tantamount to blasphemy. Now, burning a Quran, like any religious text, is something that some people find very offensive, and few people would condone. But that's not the point. There are many things in our society that people find offensive, but that doesn't make them criminal. Parliament abolished blasphemy laws almost 20 years ago. They were right to do so.
Were they though? I mean, were they? Oh, yes, they were absolutely right to abolish laws against, like, you know, blaspheming against the Christians. And now instead we have laws against blaspheming against the Jews and the Muslims. Improvements? You know, progress?
It's not for the CPS or the courts to create a blasphemy law in this country by the back door. Earlier this year.
Yes, well, I think you will find that the Islamic community thinks that that is exactly their job. We got a bit of end posting for you. I thought this one was pretty funny.
Driver's license and insurance. What am I don't understand why I was being pulled over. Can you show me the speed I was doing? Hey, you're going 53 and a 35. Can you show me? I'm asking, can you show me? It'll be on the camera for court. I know. I want to see the camera now. I can't do that. Can I see your? Can I speak to your supervisor? Sure. You have your driver's license.
Can I speak to your supervisor? Just the way, like, I don't know any white people who would deal with the police like that. Just another fucking planet, man. My God.
I'm asking for a supervisor. I'm asking for your license and insurance. I'm asking for a supervisor. Okay. In the meantime, I need your driver's license. I'm asking for a supervisor. Can I see a supervisor, please?
You can either roll the window down, or I will break it. Are you going to provide your ID?
Are you serious?
Absolutely. Are you going to provide your ID? Speeding. Speeding was the reason for the traffic stop. Are you going to provide your ID? Are you going to provide your ID? Okay. I've asked you several times. You refuse to answer. Are you going to step out of the vehicle? Are you going to step out of the vehicle? Okay, ma'am, you are now under arrest. You are under arrest for obstruction of official business and failing to provide your ID. Step out of the vehicle. Step out of the vehicle, or I will break the window. Step out of the vehicle, or I will break the window. Ma'am, I'm telling you one more time. Step out of the vehicle, or I'm going to break the window. Okay.
Oh my God!
Please step out.
No, I didn't do anything wrong. Okay. I didn't even do anything wrong. Oh my God! This is crazy.
Yeah, well, he told you. I'm gonna break. Oh my God! I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, he's out and party. It's just a speeding ticket. Yeah, exactly. Now you're arrested, right? Like, oh, for fuck's sake. Oh my God! So, Kanye West has a new song out. It's called I think it's called Heil Nigga. I'll play you a little sample. Enjoy.
Me got no way to take it out. Think I'm stuck in a matrix. When I fuck's my nitrous. Yes, I am a cook. I like when people fuck on my bitch. The shit that I'm posting on Twitter, they telling me, hey, don't say that. How niggas can't see me in public, I'm driving an all-chrome Maybach. With all of the money and fame, I still can't get my kids back. With all of the money and fame, I still don't get to see my children. Niggas see my Twitter, but they don't see how I be feeling. So I became a Nazi, yeah, bitch, I'm the villain. Nigga, how Hitler? Nigga, how Hitler? They don't understand the things I say on Twitter. Nigga, how Hitler? They don't understand the things I say on Twitter. All my niggas Nazis, nigga, how Hitler? Nigga, how Hitler? Nigga, how Hitler? All my niggas Nazis, nigga, how Hitler? She wanna fuck with Japan, I put the chrome on the bench. Nigga, how Hitler? She reaching down in my pants, she got the world in her hands. Nigga, how Hitler?
Bold. I've heard a lot worse. In terms of like just sheer amusement. All my niggas Nazi, Heil Nigga. That's pretty fucking funny. I don't know, all the angry black men dressed in like wolf furs is a bit, fucking like whatever, right? So that's the latest. Apparently it's already been taken down off SoundCloud. I don't know if you're gonna be able to like find it on Spotify. That's why I played it. I don't think YouTube will even take it down. Right, so we have one based clip. I wouldn't have thought that Tim Pool could be quite so based. He's usually quite the soy latte sort of fence post sitter. But this clip of him with trigonometry is pretty fucking good. Enjoy.
By the way, it might be coming across as like we're anti-gun. We fire guns every time we come to
They're
America.
great, right?
They're great. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I've always said, I like living in a country where we don't have guns. But if I lived in America, I would definitely own a firearm.
No, I feel bad for you guys. They arrested Count Dankula for making a joke, a funny one, and then he followed up with a funnier one. And you got people being arrested for saying naughty words on the internet. The point of guns in the United States may be to protect it from both foreign and domestic, whatever you want to argue. That a standing militia was the defense of a nation, but there's something that guns do. When a police officer wants to come into your house and arrest you in America, they are terrified they might die. They think twice about it. They want to make sure they have warrants, they want to make sure they have requisite force, and they want to make sure they're getting it right. In the UK, there's no fear of that. A little bit, maybe someone's got a knife, kitchen knife somewhere. But in the UK, they know they can kick your door in and you ain't doing nothing about it. That doesn't mean anybody should be shooting cops, but it does mean that when the police went to the home of Brianna Gray, was that? They kicked the door and they were terrified. And they had guns. They got shot at. They shot back, shooting her boyfriend, killing her in the process. The left lied about it. That's neither here nor there. The point was, police in this country are terrified. If you're a rogue cop and you're going to break the law and you know it, you'll die. And then no one in the system will defend you. I mean, maybe there's dirty cops, but for the most part, cops know if I'm going in, we need to make sure we're doing this clean and proper and knocking. Because in the instance of Brianna Gray, they yelled, they didn't hear anything, they break the door in, they get shots fired. That's something that all law enforcement in this country should be fearing, and I'm glad they do. But nobody should shoot cops.
No, we completely agree.
Tim's like, I feel sorry for you guys. Yeah. Well, so do I. Actually, Tim, I don't agree with you on much, but right. Funny video time. Enjoy. No, don't do that. No, stop. Sadie Sapiente sent me this. This is pretty cool.
30 white people versus Yakub. The year is 2046 in the deserts of Agartha. They showed up on e-scooters holding La Croix and vague ancestral guilt. One brought a vision board, another tried to negotiate with a playlist. But Yakub, he wasn't nervous because he created them. He still has the source code encrypted in Greek goat leather. And anytime they get too confident, he just blinks in a certain pattern and triggers a collective gluten allergy. But what's even better, the fight never started.
Awesome. I do enjoy some Yakub posting. What's this?
What is she doing?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
He ain't like 6.
Oh my God!
He ain't like 6.
Oh my God!
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Never in all my years as a black man have I witnessed such negrosity in my life. What is this? The stereotype Olympics? This motherfucker de-sleeved a watermelon. As they chanted, he ate like 6 of them. And from the looks of it, that is not a fallacious statement. That boy is drenched in watermelon juice. Got so many damn watermelon seeds in him, he probably finna shit one out. Who really wins after all this, man? Cause you done set us back. You set us back so damn far, man. I ain't finna Uber anymore, man. I'm finna take the Underground Railroad. You're making it harder and harder to fight, brother. God.
Truly an amazing display of negrosity there. Yeah, a bit of Dave Chappelle.
Come with me. It's time to see my shoe collection. You know ballers love nice shoes. Everybody got their Dunks and their Jordans or whatever it is they wearing. But see, I like to cut the middleman. Shoe closet. I got my own sweatshop, nigga. God damn. I got these bitches working 16 hours straight. How long? People say, we uncle, I tell.
Oh man, I miss like old Dave Chappelle. Oh, this is good.
Hey now, this is what dreams are made of.
I've got no, like, I don't know what the fuck this is. I just came across this on Telegram. I had to watch it. Now you have to watch it. Just, what the fuck? Amateur Indian filmmaking, I guess. Perhaps training for the war in Kashmir. I got no idea. Oh, this is really good.
And before that, nerd. Nobody knows for sure. All we have is this ancient relic, which contains history written by our ancestors. Based on their writings, they were spiritual people. They believed in things like auras and dragons. Bunch of hippies. They also wrote down many spells. We can only assume they were dabbling in the dark arts. Witches were spiritual people. They believed in things like auras and dragons. Bunch of hippies. They also wrote down many spells. We can only assume they were dabbling in the dark arts. Witches! We think so. Sir, can I go to the bathroom? Sit down, Mr. Bustov. You just went. It's Bustov! I have to go to number 3. Okay, anyways, it was clear people were not happy with those in power. Some even tried to revolt and slay the queen. Is Yaz the queen's first name or last name? We believe first name, because every other historical figure mentioned had the same last name. Interesting. The writings also mention a pandemic, a type of flesh-eating brain virus. It has been documented the victims of this brain rot has zombie-like behavior and wants skin. Okay, next class we'll go over what they wrote in incognito mode.
I mean, it could happen. This is good as well. I wish I could see more of this, honestly.
Hey, what are you doing to Elon Musk's prized possession? Can't you see, old man? I'm fighting fascism. Well, you better stop that now.
You can't make us stop. We're liberals.
Go liberal this. Hey, don't touch my they-them friend like that. The power of Donald Trump makes me immune to physical attacks.
Wow, this cis-man Sigma energy is really making me question my gender choices.
Trump's tariffs are a good idea.
Do you want to go on a date with me?
No, I only date conservative women untouched by another man. Who was that guy?
He was so hot.
That is a real thing that happens every day in America. The power of Trump compels you. Right, cute animal time. Enjoy. Annoying, but so cute.
Hey buddy, we need them drawings. What are you doing eating them? No, we need them, mate. Kangaroos is eating our drawings. How good is that?
That happens every day in Australia. By the way, this is a perfectly normal thing. Happens in Australia all the time. Aggressive Swan.
Somebody's watching me. Is my anxiety.
I do love those memes of like animals like with signs. Very cool. All right. Doggo and his stick.
Oh, Percy. Come on, you can do it. I shouldn't laugh. Get it, Percy. Hey! He always gets there, doesn't it? He always gets
Man, I love the way like dogs walk when they've got like a good stick and they're just like, this is the best thing ever. If only I could find such joy in random sticks. Right, we got some like just cute stuff to finish off. Grumpy cat. What else we got? Some cows. And what else have we got? Where's he going? And finally, heartwarmingly cute thing to finish off. Aw. And that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. I'll be on Gulag Cafe tonight in about an hour and a half. Tonight, James Lindsay returns with another bite of the woke right apple. This one is even more retarded than the last time, as if that was like possible. Yeah, it's really retarded. It will mainly just be me and Yiz shitposting about said Lindsay foolishness. Come along if that sounds like the kind of thing that you would enjoy. No shows until the 26th, maybe Monday. I'm not sure. I'm probably going to be like busy packing and stuff like that. But I will definitely be back on the 26th. I'll still be like in the US. Anyway, check out the Telegram channel for updates, or you can follow me on Twitter at malinformedtv. I always post like shows there and stuff like that. Hope you are all going to have an excellent week. Yes, there may. Oh, okay, so maybe there is a show on Monday. Yes, I think there is a show on Monday. Anyway, right. Let's say goodbye to the chat on Rumble. Ivan the Horrible, Seti Sapiente, Crispy13, Ardent Party, Captain Crisps, Full Short, Livia Drusilla. Who else we got? Anybody else? J Shiva Loophole, of course. I think Wyatt's Torch was in here as well. Total Blackout Painting. Thanks for coming, everyone. Edie Wolf. And I think that's everybody. On YouTube, we have Cyberchud Internal Affairs, Budgie Burger, user has been banned for naughty words, Glenn Llewellyn, Evil Author 1776, Victorian Time Traveler, Fat Zombie, Robert Verlinden, 007, good to see you, Sar, Streaky Bacon, James Cole, oh, I think you're new, mate, thanks for coming, anybody else? I think that's everybody. Oh, and Lomax, of course, good to see you, Lomax. And on Odyssey, we have Layla Ken, Harder, N-Word, and MK, of course. Thanks very much for the super chat, MK. Oh, and also, Simon JJ was in there as well, somewhere. I know because he sent me a super chat. Thank you very much, Simon. And Stumbling 2 is in there as well because he's on the super chat list. Thank you so much. And of course, Texas Man, our correspondent from the great state of Texas. Hope you all have an excellent weekend. Come on to Gulag Cafe tonight. Otherwise, I will see you all on Monday. Good night, everyone.